Yes, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Garden of the Mind YouTube channel, where we reduce stress, improve our health and fitness, and increase our financial IQ just a little bit every episode. If you're new to this channel, welcome to our village. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome as well. Today we're going to be talking about anxiety. So if you've been struggling with worry or different situations, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. I define anxiety to be a physiological reaction to doubting your ability to perform at an expected level. Once upon a time when we were cavemen and we were out and we were hunting for our food and danger was ever present and we did not know exactly where or how it would strike, we would get a feeling in our chest which would keep us on high alert and supply us with everything that we needed in order for us to react. That feeling was known as anxiety. So what we've done now is we've inflated our social circumstances to be on the same level as the same danger that we used to face being caveman a while ago. So things like a short-term project or a presentation or public speaking or an exam, we now look at these things as if we don't do well in them, that is going to be death. So we place these things on a level of death, even though they're not really. We frame those things by saying, I'm gonna die if, or my mother's gonna kill me if, or I'm gonna be finished if. All of these words help to frame and couch this imminent death that's not really death. And we continue to repeat these things to us until it becomes real to the point where it feels like death. Now, some people can deal with this anxiety. This anxiety may motivate some people to do something or cram and get it done in the best way possible. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about the people who this does not work for. The people who worry and constantly worry and constantly worry. Or the people who are losing sleep. If this is your situation, do not rule out professional help. If you are in one of those spaces where you cannot stop your brain from this negative thought that continues to repeat despite everything that you do, please do not rule out professional help. But for most of us that can trace this stimulus to one particular event that's upcoming and we're worried about exactly how it is going to play out and what the ramifications are going to be on us, those are the people who I'm talking to right now. The first way to reduce anxiety is to see exactly where this expectation is coming from. Were you talking trash around the water cooler about how you were going to knock this project out of the park and now it's time to show and prove, and it doesn't seem like it's exactly going the way that you expected it to go? That may be one reason, as you may have talked up expectations up to a level that now you might have wrote a check that something can't cash. Or you might have had parents who had these high expectations of you and would not allow you to be human and expected you to be super and 100% perfect in everything that you did. And if you got a 95, they were looking for the other 5 points. You may have continued that pressure even after your parents are no longer in this particular example, but that constant drive, you've now fueled your own fire. It's important to know exactly where these expectations come from so that you can find out how to reduce those expectations. A good portion of our expectations are completely perception. They're not real. There's something that either we perceive or something that we've manufactured. So if it's something that we manufacture, then let's stop manufacturing it. If it's something that we perceive, then we have to change our perspective on exactly what the problem is so that we can reduce the damage to ourselves. If you realize that your expectation is coming from plans that you've set into motion that don't seem to be going your way, the second way to reduce anxiety is to realize that your plans are just that. They're plans. You are responsible for making plans. You're not responsible for the outcome. Do thy duty at its best and leave unto the Lord the rest. What that means is you basically do all that you can possibly do in terms of the planning. Don't get upset if things don't go according to the way that you've planned. This universe is so much bigger than just your plans. Don't feel like you are somehow responsible for exactly the way this thing turns out. A lot of the times we give ourselves more power than we actually have. And when we find out that we don't have the power we think we have, that's when stress and anxiety starts to creep in, because you start to see all of the things that you've planned are not going exactly as planned, and doubt starts to creep into your mind, and you're trying to figure out whether this is going to happen, in fact, the way that I've planned, or is it going to go awry. The third way to reduce anxiety is to look at every opportunity as a learning experience. It's not an opportunity for you to be perfect, nor for you to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing is going to be perfect. It is a step along the lines and along the way at perfection. Realize the learning that you are doing at this point in time is a part of a learning process. And one of the things that you are facing at this point in time is one obstacle to help you learn and help you grow. Not for you to become perfect and not for you to start to brag and boast. Those are some of the things that help to make anxiety large in our head, is when we start to think about ourselves bigger than we are and saying what it is that we in fact can do, and it may not work out that way. But if you look at everything as a learning experience, then there can be no wrong. There is only winning and learning. A fourth way to reduce anxiety is to stop and to breathe. Think about the worst case scenario. What is the worst thing that can possibly happen behind this situation? Take 5 deep breaths. Inhaling as much as you possibly can, holding it for 1 second, and exhaling. After you do that for 5 breaths, you'll find that you feel a little bit better, and that can help to decrease some of the anxiety that you might be feeling. The 5th way to reduce anxiety is not to concentrate on the worst thing that can happen. Concentrate all of your efforts and your energy into doing your best, and focus there. Whatever your best reveals and what it results into, then that's what it is. Philippians 4:6-7 says, "Do not become anxious about anything, but in every situation, with thanksgiving, present your petitions to the Lord." Remember, results are not up to you, they're up to God. The best you can do is to put everything that you can into the planning stages and let God deal with the rest. Make your petitions known to God. Worrying has never improved any situation, but having a positive perspective and taking the right action has changed situations. You can't have anxiety without an expectation. If you don't have any expectations, then you can't have any anxiety. Some people find it very difficult not to have some sort of expectation and some sort of goal, because those are the things that motivate them. If that's your case, that's fine, but make sure that it's not counterproductive to you. And if you do have an expectation, don't focus on the negative aspect of that expectation. Think about how great things are going to turn out and how good you're going to feel as a result of all of the work that you've put in, not the results. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you want to know exactly when we post, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, please click on that notification bell. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And remember, thoughts are actions, words have power, and actions have consequences. I'll see you for Wealthy Wednesdays, which is going to be our final installment on credit. I also apologize to you for not putting out a video for last Friday, but we're going to do that video this Friday, the best salad ever.